There are business leaders that are making so much more than profit in their enterprises. They're elevating their businesses, teams, and themselves to add more value. And so can you. Welcome to the Chris Cooper Business Elevation Show with host Chris Cooper. If you were looking for ways to elevate success while contributing to a better world, you'll want to listen in for the next hour. Now here's your host, Chris Cooper.
Hi, this is Chris Cooper, and a big welcome to the Business Elevation Show on Voice America. Wonderful to be back with you again. It's our 335th unique episode today, and it's a great day. I'm really pleased to be with you. I'm pleased to be introducing you as well today to an amazing guest. We're going to be talking about leading business with love with Dr. Mansour Malik. And this is going to be a great show. I've got absolutely convinced of it. Today's actually my birthday, and I can't think of anybody I'd rather interview on my birthday, having had a conversation with him just a few weeks ago. And I think you're in for a real treat today. Before I introduce you to him, I want to say a big thank you to last week's guest. We had Rachel K. Mashawa, who was just an amazing guest to have on the show. She's a vice president of Intel. She's a fascinatingly talented lady with a huge brain for technology. She also has 4 children. How she manages that with a business function to manage with $4 billion of revenue, I don't know. But at the end of the show, the engineer Erin, who kindly supports me with these, was jumping up and down with excitement at how great an interview it was. So if you have the opportunity, do go back into the archive and have a listen to that show if you want to get a sense of some of the technological developments that are starting to impact the world, and the speed and the challenge, and where we can maybe take advantage, if you want to, of some of these opportunities with maybe your business and your family in terms of the areas they could maybe work in the future, etc. Do go back and have a listen. So, what would happen if love and peace were adopted as really deep, fundamental values of leadership and business today? I really wonder, when the world today needs us to unite like never before, surely the time is now to end selfish ways and together work together to solve really complex problems in the world. Now, my guest, Dr. Mansour Malik, is an international lawyer, a legal consultant. He's the owner of Diplomat magazine and the Diplomatic Business Club, London and Dubai. And we'll find out more about those soon. And as a consequence, he has a really extensive network of highly proficient, professional, and very influential contacts worldwide. And he strongly believes and places paramount importance on integrity, reputation, professionalism, moral and ethical practices in his private and professional life. So I'm really excited to have him on the show today and really have a deep conversation, I'm sure, about the potential that exists to bring more humanity into humanity today. So I think we're in for a fascinating and heartfelt conversation. Just get involved in this conversation. Have a listen. If you've got any thoughts and comments, do send them to me after the show at chris@chriscooper.co.uk. But I think there's a really essential global movement that needs to happen. And I think Dr. Mansour Malik is somebody at the forefront of that. So a huge welcome to Mansour.
Thank you very much, Chris, for inviting me for this great program. And I'm very honored and very happy to participate.
Fantastic. We're very honoured and very happy to have you on the show today. And you're the first person we've had on the show from the United Arab Emirates. So, welcome to anybody who's listening in that part of the world. And it really is a sincere pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you and find out a bit about you. And I'd love to just find out a little bit initially about where you live and what life was like growing for you up in the Middle East.
Thank you very much. I was a lawyer in London, and as you see, the life passes on. I found out that the life was, the work pressure was too much, that I was feeling that maybe I am a 200 years old person at the age of 48, And I used to go and meet some MPs, and I used to tell them that please reduce the age of retirement to 50. I was thinking at that time under the pressure of work and all that, the traffic, the taxation systems, the responsibilities, and too many things, costs and all that. And then I just visited Dubai, and I was amazed that this small city at that time, but it's very peaceful and very nice, and I see some opportunity. I thought, why not to move over here? So it was a big decision to pack up my office from there and just start somewhere where my Arabic was very, very basic. But I always take this type of, the adventures, and I succeeded. And then the Dubai developed to the international level now that maybe almost every nationality lives and works in Dubai, and this small city become the hub of the international activity, economic activity.
So were you actually brought up in London then? Is that where you?
Yes, I was brought up and I studied at the University of London. I did my law, all that, and I opened practice. And but when I came back to Dubai, it was so amazing, and slowly the progress, whole Dubai, was built in front of me. And I see that various nationalities are working together as one community. And thanks to the very wise and tolerant leadership that they provided opportunities, then you grow up more, and I thought that, look, nobody is special. We're all human beings. And there are, English people, there's American, they are German, they are European, they are African, they are Arabs, they are working together and in a very friendly atmosphere and without a lot of pressure. And these things actually, when you are a little bit educated, and these things, they impress you. And this awakened my spiritual side more. And I understood that when you are more friendly with people, you are taking care of them. And these your customers or clients, whether in the trade business or in a shop or in a factory or in an office, you care about them and treat them equally. And their progress, becomes more better, and they behave better. Atmosphere becomes more friendly, and this is where that you share the love and mutual respect for each other. And I know a great believer of this, that the worldwide today, what the problem we are facing, the world has been facing many problems, but in the modern world, because we are too connected, thanks to the technology and all we are having our friend in the United States, you are in United Kingdom, I am United Arab Emirates, so we can talk at the same time. And if we three get connected, why not all people get connected like this way as one humanity? And all I think, because I have a lot of study and my experience and visions and dreams and all that, that makes me to believe that the greatest power on this earth are not the weapons. This is love. If we use the weapon of love in our daily life, we will solve all the problems, even with the nations, right? I'm grateful, today that I must say thank to President Trump, who has called off. There was a war looming on Iran in this area, and we were quite worried about it. And that's recently I seen something in the social media that the President Trump called off the war. So that was a great, great satisfaction. And I hope and pray that Iranians get the same type of response, and whole world solve their problem through mutual respect, through mutual love, right? We all human beings, right? We are created by God, right? As a one family. Adam was and Eve, and we were the children of God and children of Adam and Eve. So we are same people. We have different colors, we have different skins. It doesn't matter, because in the different environment, like different fruits, different flowers, right? Even the rose has, how many colors the rose has, but rose is rose. So if we think on those lines, I think that we are equal, we are brothers, we are sisters, we just share love, and we take care of that. This is what I feel, and I work, and it makes me very happy and very healthy. And now I feel 25 years because of the atmosphere and this type of feelings, right?
I mean, you raise such an important point there, and I think what I'm taking from that is where maybe in the example there with President Trump and Iran, where you're feeling conflict or the risk of conflict, the first reaction and first place to maybe draw upon is love rather than anger.
Yes.
Yeah, that just feels to me is the message I'm getting from you there.
Because I see that, all human, we make mistakes, we get angry, all that. But I think that whatever happened, and there was the President Trump said that 10 minutes before I called off war, because I asked the general how many people are going to be killed. He said 150, so I just called off the war. I didn't want to kill 150 people. So this was a good sign. And this is I have all respect. It's none of my business in the politics, but I really, Mr. President Trump, earned a lot of respect in my heart. I said, thank you, and I'm grateful for this, that at least the whole region, for the time being, at least these things are called off.
Yeah, I want to talk, obviously, rest of the interview a lot more about this, but I just want to also find out a little bit about your creation of the Diplomat magazine and the Diplomatic Business Club, London and Dubai, because I hear these are something that are very significant. Tell me what are they and what's the purpose? Why did you create them?
You see, I got only one son. He's quite young, but he's lucky in many ways. He was in the media, and we moved here in Dubai, and then he met some people, and he was doing some media work. He's a lawyer as well. And then he met Benazir Bhutto, and she was quite, interested in him. And after that, he was offered a job as a diplomat, ambassador at large for the businesses, etc., etc. And later, she got killed, unfortunately, and that was very sad. And then I advised him not to continue, so he did not continue. But I feel that as a young man, he was feeling that maybe my father has deprived me of from this thing. And while this thing happening, a thought came, maybe again out of love of a father, that why not we, because he's a media person, and create a diplomat magazine in this country, and we connect the diplomats and business people and the government people on one table, and it will be mutually benefiting, and this will give us just a satisfaction. It's not a business idea, just do it as a service to the humanity or the society or the country or whatever. And it worked very well, and what they did is that we got the license from the government, and we start publishing that. And under this magazine, how to do it, we start organizing events under the magazine, right? And just distributing this magazine. And definitely this magazine, not for everybody. It was for diplomats or the government officials or the top business people. Maybe some business people will sponsor or something they will do, but the government and diplomats, we can't ask them to pay any sort of, basically we will just doing it free and for them, and all cost I was, bearing off. But this, the experience has satisfied me, because it developed the idea that we create a business forum where regularly we keep connecting people, and Dubai becomes like international place, global place. So there are companies from United States, from UK, from Europe, from Africa, Asia, China, India, Pakistan, all countries, and we can provide them a platform to connect with each other and do business. And this worked very, very well. And during this time, another thing happened that because the Queen's was a Jubilee, I think, the celebrations, and we put the Queen's picture on our front page, and we wrote about this. And I think the British ambassador definitely might have sent it to UK. We never sent it, and we did not have that access. And then we received a letter which has taken us by surprise, that appreciating and thanking, a thanking letter by the Queen's office, that we have done this and like that, appreciation. And thereafter, Andrew Rosendale is MP and is a foreign affairs person, and then later he got connected with me, and he invited me whenever I am in London to meet him. In the summer I was in London, so he invited me in the House of Parliament, and then we have a chat and all that. And then he said that, why don't you do this? The Diplomat Business Club also network. It's a networking company. It's not like social like club, networking platform. Do it in UK as well. I said, Andrew, you see, it takes a lot of time, energy, money, this, that, and I am based in Dubai. But then I thought, when I received this appreciation from that highest level by Her Majesty the Queen of Great Britain, so I must do something for Great Britain as well, because I owe a lot, because I learned a lot from Britain, right? So I just came back. I called the company house and I registered the company within 3 hours. This is the best system Britain have. And then we just after a week or 10 days, I invited very close friends and few people I knew in the Parliament, and Andrew, thanks to Andrew that he provided a room in the inside Parliament. So we did it, and it went very, very successful, and everybody appreciated. Since then, we do at least 1 or 2 events in London and 2-3 events in UAE and 1 in Bahrain, right, every year. And this is where we provide a platform, and people are very happy. And always people asking, but we are not making like exactly just a business type of thing. If the costs are covered, we are happy to provide, because I feel in that way. And I don't know, this is my nature. When I have the law practice, so I used to have a lot of people, they cannot afford to pay, and they were not qualified for the legal aid type of thing. So I will not even charge them, and I was feeling more happy when I do this type of free work to serve the human beings and the people. And many nationalities, they came to my office as well. So this is a learn that we are actually, all people have the same, desires and same liking. That everybody needs a good life, everybody needs house, everybody needs car. So there's no much difference. All are struggling and trying and like that. So this is where we start connecting people. And in London and the places and many companies, they cannot believe that we provide them a platform free of charge and they get benefited. And they always often, okay, how much we have to pay? I said, just you have to say thank you. That's it. So wow. This is of my passion, and I'm doing it, and it gives me more because I don't have many children. I don't have many things. My son is very settled, and we're just grateful. And that if you have that type of thing, satisfaction, pleasure, so what you will do, holding money and just having big bank accounts, it doesn't make you happy. As long as you're happy and healthy, I think serving your brothers and sisters, all humanity, whatever way you can.
I like it. We've got to go to commercial break now. So, yeah, after the break, it was great to find out about that, and I really sense this this love and integrity and wanting to give is very much a part of your philosophy. And I want to just talk a little bit about why we have some of the challenges that we have around materialism and greed and division between religion and those sorts of things. And we'll start to move on to what some of the solutions might be. So yeah. We'll be back again with everybody in just a couple of minutes.
When it comes to business, you'll find the experts here. Voice America Business Network.
Would you like to work personally with the host of this show to help realize your potential? Chris Cooper supports business leaders and high potential individuals to achieve greater success in their businesses and careers. Support includes the opportunity to join a high return group mentoring and mastermind program called the Achiever Program. One-to-one mentoring and coaching facilitated leader development workshops and speeches. Email info@bemoreachievemore.com to arrange a free, no-obligation consultation to see how Chris and his team can help you.
We hear it and read about it every day in the news.
America is heading over a fiscal cliff. Home prices are still receding and unemployment growing.
How can you preserve and increase your wealth in this kind of economy? Tune in to Turning Hard Times into Good Times with host Jay Taylor. Jay will explain the decline of our monetary system and the economy, and will give you winning investment ideas and the tools to protect and increase your wealth. Turning Hard Times into Good Times with Jay Taylor can be heard Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 noon Pacific Time on the Voice America Business Channel.
If you hear a dog barking or an angel singing, then you know that you are listening to Waking Up in America. Heard every Wednesday at 3 Pacific Time, Valerie Kirkard and all of her friends will bring you powerful and humorous discussions that raise thoughts and give you insight on how to live your life to its fullest potential. Adventure is always a must on Waking Up in America with Valerie Kirkard every Wednesday at 3 Pacific.
When it comes to business, you'll find the experts here. Voice America Business Network.
You are tuned into the Business Elevation Show with your host, Chris Cooper. If you have a question or comment about our show, please direct your emails to chris@chriscooper.co.uk. That's chris@chriscooper.co.uk. Now back to Chris Cooper.
Hi, this is Chris Cooper. I'm with Dr Mansour Malik, and we're talking about leading business with love. And I've got a real sense of how Mansour does his business with the Diplomatic Business Club, and the giving nature and the unifying nature of it. I'm interested though, why this approach isn't even more prevalent than it is. Why through history has materialism, greed, and control featured so strongly, with unity and peace not having the attention to consistently prevail? It appears that there's, always, power struggles between nations, between ideologies. What's your view on this?
You see, what I feel that I study the religions, the message of our religions is the almost same. If you see the 10 commandments or the 12 commandments or all these, so I don't find a single religion that who does not agree on these 10, 12 commandments. And if we believe in these, there is no war, there is no struggle. But what happened, that the religion was politicized. Religion was used for political purposes or sometimes for business purposes, where all the problem arose. So I will not blame the divine message which the teachings was brought by the Prophet Abraham or Prophet Moses or the Holy Jesus or Prophet Muhammad and others. Their purpose was to unite the communities through love and solve their problems. And I seen in the teachings that you cannot be a believer unless you think same way for the others as you think by yourself. So when we have this type of teachings, and the same way you see the Holy Jesus when he said that, okay, if anybody slaps you, so he said, don't retaliate. Don't retaliate. Rather, tolerate it. And this type of teachings are very there. That's why when you go to the spiritual side of the Christianity or Judaism or the Islam, the Sufism, they unite people. There's a tolerance, there's a love you see there, and the same things happening. But the problem happened until this day that the most of these religious philosophies were used for the political purposes. Right, in the recent history, if you go in the past history, right from the time of Crusaders, know the latest history, that what happened in the Syria, right? Okay, there is some jihadi groups on the name of the jihad, holy war, started to destabilize the country and the killing the people, the children, all that. Same in Afghanistan started. It was the jihad was promoted. I will say, I have no reservation to say that by the West, right? And the others to beat the Russians. So this holy war was started over there, and these groups were created over there, and on the name of a religion. Every person that, through ignorance, they were joining forces, and after this, when the Russians beaten up, so they were just left, used and left, and then the current crisis everywhere we are facing is because of that. And this was the problem throughout the history. Otherwise, if you see today, I'm in Dubai, you are in London, and our friend is in Arizona. We are connected because thanks to the modern knowledge and technology of that. These things were not there in the past. Whatever the rumors they were hearing, so the forceful leaders and greedy leaders, because they want to have all the resources of the other nation, the weak nations, and the just conquering them and the subjugating them and fighting wars and these things like that. The greed, you see, why the greed, and these things have been the part and parcel of the every war. I will say that mankind was created and the God because sent us here with two sides we have. One is our personalities are within ourselves. There are evil forces, which is devil, and there are angelic forces, which are the guardian angels, or the angelic forces working with us. And then God has gave us the complete freedom of choice. You go right way or the left way, you go with the devil way or you go with the prophet's ways and these types of ways. So some of us chosen this way, but because the devil attraction, these are the lusts and the wealth and these things are so much attraction they had that we just fell to this type of test, and result was that even our rulers become the same. Okay, we should have all the resources like that. If you see, as we privately discuss in our first, you see the interaction, that these natural resources, because God created us, all of us, right from Africa to United States to Canada to Australia to Morocco to wherever. So the resources which God has given is not owned by anybody. This is my view, right? That these should be owned globally. Every human being should have right on those, and those natural resources should be shared. And if there is, because we have the United Nations, we have so many international organizations, if there is any debate, they are in discussion there, then let's resolve this issue, that we don't have to invade each other because of to get these resources, either the oil or the precious stones or the gas or the crops or whatever, gold and these type of mines, etc. So if we have the workout that these are resources there and how much each nation needs it, and we have some sharing percentage, and the ground or the land which it is discovered, maybe they will have a little more right because it is in their land. But the other people, globally, they should benefit. And I think then the war could end, or at least minimize the chances of war in that way. And these are God's gift. You see, fruits, whatever we have, whatever we can see that we have so plenty of things, the money, trillions and billions, but who has these trillions and millions? Do we need them? We need just a piece of bread and some meat and some drink and water, etc., etc. It doesn't cost that much. But why we are greedy? Because of these things, that these are some people are hoarding and the others are deprived of that. And if we have equal or the unequal or the distribution of these resources, I think the global war could end. At least this could be one factor to eliminate the global wars, right? So then nobody has. Then even today, what we are talking, the technology is coming out, and there is a trade war. Something concerns United States have, something China has, something Russians have, the others have, all that. So if we have a common understanding developed, all these bodies, United Nations, how many organizations they have, if they have a study groups and these working organizations, that they should put this type of proposals so that we need to get mature. You see, we gone to the highest form. Now we are going to the moon, and we are going to I don't know where, and but we are not getting mature enough and tolerant enough. If we believe that we are the children of God, we should love each other. We should take care of each other. I must take care that when I am eating and my friend Chris is sleeping without food, I should not eat food. I should share my bread with Chris and with others and my neighbors and all that. And these are the fundamental teachings of all the divine messages which were received. But those messages have been corrupted, they have been misinterpreted, and they have been just politicized for the various reasons, right? So if we go back to the original messages, what the Jesus said, what the Moses said, how they suffered in their life, but they were very, very tolerant. Moses suffered, but he did not make a revolt, right? And Jesus, right, he suffered, but he did not make a revolt. Same the other prophets and these, how many leaders, religious or the spiritual, I will call them, they were full of mercy, full of compassion, full of love. But this is the cause we have to reconsider. And I think the global level, at international level, that look, right from the Indonesia to the Canada, we get together and all bodies are very much there. And these working groups need to consider that all aspects, okay, the people, the Indonesia has maybe a lot of population that the China has or the India has. So these nations need more food. So the other countries should be contributing the food towards them, where they have many resources, which maybe United States needs, maybe the Africa needs it, maybe the Canada needs it. So they should share like that on the humanity level. If we work on human rights, and these are also questions of human rights, right? If there is no food in the with us, we are no more there. So what with the human rights will work, right, on a dead person, right? I was, you see, in London, it was my very, I was very, very sad that one person, his name was David, he walked into my office with another friend, and this friend said that, oh, David have one son and he just got accident, he passed away or something. And now the David is thinking, should I criminate him or I bury him? And I said that this is a decision, but if you want to bury him, maybe. He said, but to bury him will cost me more money. My heart broke. I said, do you need money? I will give you, please. Please take money, just as a gift. He said, no, because he was my son, I don't want to take money from you or anyone. So when we die and some people have this type of his father thinking on the basis of this money that whether I criminate him because it will cost me less. When we go to this stage, then we fell from the status of human beings, where I see the Bible, Torah, Quran, all calling that God has created the superior, most creature, crown of his creation is the human beings. And when the human beings behave like this, and how we call them human beings. So these are the things that we need to readdress, and our spiritual leader, religious leader, political leader have to consider all these things, but we have to persuade them. Maybe through these programs and people like us, we have to maybe work more hard so it goes to their maybe understanding and brains and mind, and they will say, oh, yes, we should do this. This is a good idea.
I'm just sort of thinking that we've just got just a few minutes to a commercial break now, but what you've got me thinking about is that, you talked about a lot of sort of religious leaders, and today, many people don't have that deep connection with religion. However, what we're talking about here is, the qualities of those people are qualities that if we chose to embody and embrace, the world would be a better place. So it seems to me that we need to be careful and from a young age about the things that we teach our children, but also look for role models that we can emulate and learn from that contribute to the world being a better place and a more unified one.
Exactly. If you were very beginners, you see the primary schools and all the schools, that's some ethical and these human values, tolerance, patience, compassion. These are more, taught and to the young children. And when they grow up, they will behave. Their behavior will change. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, it seems, we're talking about something very fundamental here, aren't we? And, I wonder that there's always been that kind of battle between good and evil, but we're living in a world today we're still with power struggles where, as you mentioned there, where resources are very unevenly distributed, and some people hold on to those resources and don't share them, and some people are, there's an attitude where it's not good to be given money by others. You mentioned that example of your son, and we also got a world where we've got a heavily polluted planet, which requires great unification. So it just feels that right now that the qualities and the conversation that we're having and what you're sharing, we feel like we're at a point in history in the world where if we don't start to embrace these, and the consequences are enormous. So, I think it's important to conversation to sort of listen on, reflect whether you're deeply religious or you're not. We need to all come together in a way that we've not done before to solve some of these issues. So we'll talk a little bit about what we can do individually after the commercial break. We're back with you again in just a couple of minutes.
From the boardroom to you, Voice America Business Network.
Would you like to work personally with the host of this show to help realize your potential? Chris Cooper supports business leaders and high potential individuals to achieve greater success in their businesses and careers. Support includes the opportunity to join a high return group mentoring and mastermind program called the Achiever Program. One-to-one mentoring and coaching, facilitated leader development workshops and speeches. Email info@bemoreachievemore.com to arrange a free, no-obligation consultation to see how Chris and his team can help you.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click register at the top right.
From the boardroom to you, Voice America Business Network.
You are tuned into the Business Elevation Show with your host, Chris Cooper. If you have a question or comment about our show, please direct your emails to chris@chriscooper.co.uk. That's chris@chriscooper.co.uk. Now back to Chris Cooper.
Hi, this is Chris Cooper. I'm with Dr Mansour Malik, and we're talking about leading business with love. Well, actually, we've been talking about leading life with love, really. And I'm really keen now to sort of get into two areas and think about from a business perspective what we can be doing as businesses to maybe think in a different way and behave in a different way, and then what each of us as individuals can be doing to actually look at the way that we live so that we make a more contributory contribution to life rather than having a negative impact on it. So let's talk about business first, Mansour. As a business leader who may be involved in a very profit-focused organization, how do they shift to a more humanistic sort of trajectory? A sense where business is for good, it's not for exploitation.
Yes, I think the businesses that if they just change their philosophy that making money out of the very high prices and in a way that extortion, right, they go some extent that very, very high prices we have to pay. If they think that today the world population has grown so much that we are over 6 billion, right? So there is you see that lots of consumers there. If they try to go now that on the volume-based business, that we have too many consumers, and even our prices are reasonable, and we charge less, and we sell more, and our profits would be maybe much more, and the people will be happier. People will not feel, oh, how can I buy this, right? Because it's so expensive. Now the basic principles, you go to any trading community, trade, business, commerce, whatever. Even I see some of the people in my practice life, I see that they have no education, but they have certain principles which they learn through their guts or families, or these families in the businesses. Their basic principle that we should not charge too much. We should be reasonably charged, and we should cover our costs, and we should be honest, right? Honest. And the honesty is the basis of any trade. And whatever I've been, reading the books, some of the places I read, that those people that we believe in as a believer, this is and many people, if they don't believe, I have all respect for them. I'm not a judge or thing, just on my perspective, that I see that lots of believers there, they say that those traders who will be fair and honest, their status would be with the very, very spiritually highest people like prophets and the saints and this type of people after them. They will have a status in the hereafter. If this is the teachings of all religions, and these people, they think of this, so they can eliminate the greed. They think, this is again that they have to think, if they are the consumers themselves, and this is the seller, and that is the buyer, so what I will do. So when they feel the pain of the other side, and they take care of the other side, definitely their mindset will change. But again, we need education. We need to train them. We need to remind them of this awareness through such programs, through you, through our friends, and they have to create awareness that, look, we should be behaving in this way, that when you love your customers, when you love the people who you are dealing with, your productivity will be much higher, and you will be feeling much more happier. You will go home and you will sleep peacefully because you're happy. Now the people, they make money, they come back home, they don't sleep. They take pills, they have this and that. So all these problems will go away, but they need to be educated. I've seen some people, in their business life, they are very happy, they have less. But they are very, very honest, very, very fair with the people, and in this fairness and that way, in treating the people with love and care and sincerity, they make more money and they are very happy. Their little money is blessed. It works more for them. Other people, they are just do this type of thing, that their only principle is how to extract money from people. How I sell these things just to empty the pockets of others. And the result is this, that their children will go astray, problem with the children, problem with the families, lots of diseases coming, accidents coming, and unwanted type of, uncalled type of, the problem they confront. Because I feel, as a spiritual person, because of these things, because the God does not like those people who do not treat others fairly, honestly, and with care and love. I should choose for the other people what I love for myself. Then I'm the real believer. Then I'm the real person of God. when we have this type of teaching and developed our character and our, thinking process, the whole thing will change. If we see the process, now we are getting used to technology. There was no technology. I was a person that always dictaphone, the secretary is typing, the lawyer's notes and all that. Now, the technology has gone to this level that I start typing with my one finger, and I can type Arabic, I can type English, right? So this needs education and training slowly and gradually, and people and the societies will change. And now we are a global, one nation actually. Everything what happens in United States, in seconds we know it. Whatever happens, wherever happens, we know it. So we are so much connected, right? We are so much close that this type of awareness, and then we try to teach each other, and our mindsets, get maturity, and because our spiritual side is sleeping, we are not taking care of that. I said somewhere that we are taking more care about our shoes because people look at them. We polish our shoes, but we don't polish our hearts. If we try to awake our hearts, and we try to care our hearts, when our heart is awakened, then there would be love. Love comes through heart. And when our heart is dead, or half dead, or under sleep, we cannot feel anything. Cruelty, killings, those people who kill and who do this type of crimes, because their hearts are dead. If their hearts are alive, they will feel, they will say, oh, I cannot kill an ant. I cannot harm anybody. I cannot harm even the animals or grass or any plants or anything, because this is cruel. So these we need to also, actually the role of our clergies has diminished from our societies. And if they try to, help us to polish our heart, and our feelings are, right, myself, that I tell you that I feel global. I have a British passport. I treat it as a travel document, but I don't feel anything that I'm particular of this ethnic group or that ethnic group. When I'm in UK, I feel all my heart for that country. When I'm in UAE, I feel all that I'm UAE person. I go anywhere because whole world belongs to me and I belong to the world. This should be, I think, that our thought process and caring for others, thinking about others, their needs, and this will only happen when our soul, because our soul is neglected. If our soul is, taken care of, and that can only be through certain, like the modern people start going. So sometimes I see these things, I get happy. Or they go for yoga. Okay, you go there, contemplate in the lodges, in the monasteries, in the mosques. People go and sit down and just connect themselves to the God, and they awaken their heart, because heart needs this kind of exercise, that you just switch off from everything, sit down at least 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, just to yourself, and close your eyes, and it will help them to awake their heart. And when then they will start a feeling. Their heart will feel, oh, I'm doing wrong thing. Heart will stop, soul will stop it. That, oh, I should not do this, because this is wrong.
Do you think it's also helpful to maybe, we've only got just about 3-4 minutes left till I need to wrap up, but do you think actually starting with the end in mind and having people just imagine themselves towards the end of their life and looking back and thinking, actually, what sort of an impact do I want to have made? How do I want to have left people feeling and feeling about me? I just think sometimes going through that sort of exercise makes people realize actually that the way they're living their lives right now is not taking them on that trajectory. They've just got into, the habitual ways of behaving that aren't serving them or others. Is it helpful to take that sort of a perspective as well as the deep reflection daily?
Very, very vital point is this, that those people in our society, the everyday people leave this world, right? some people, they have done a very, very noble job. They've been doing charities, they've been doing good jobs. They established hospitals, other places to help. When such people leave and in such a peaceful way, all that, we need to highlight there after passing them, when they leave this world. So we should not just forget them. Rather, we should have more conversation about there. There should be certain meetings, certain programs to remember them and to highlight their this character. And this will motivate others that, look, I have to die as well one day. And what prints I will leave behind? How will people remember me? So that might help, right, people to be more compassionate towards others and more helpful towards others.
And how do we ensure, I'm kind of intrigued, often it's not the right people, quite often, who get to the top in this world in terms of running countries, and, they're not always people who they got there sometimes by kind of Machiavellian ways of wanting to control power and personal interest and that sort of thing. How do we ensure that the right people rise to the top and into positions of influence, and then able to positively influence everybody else?
Yes, it takes time. I will just say one thing which I just got to my mind. You see, when Hitler was there, so there was some genocide and this type of things are happening. And I read that Morocco is a great country, and its king, Mohammed V, he was the king of that time, and Hitler demanded that some Jews were living there so that these should be handed over to him. And he replied to him, I do not have any Jews here. I have Moroccans. This is a Moroccan country. Any Moroccan living in this country, I cannot hand over to you. Right? So he refused in a very wise way. If we have this approach, his name, I think that we need to highlight these things. We need to discuss these things. Look, this person, king, saved so many lives of Jews, although he was a Muslim leader, right? So this type of thing, the people will follow these examples where the Hitler atrocities, when they are highlighted, so people, they say, we don't want to be like Hitler. We want to be like these saviors. These people like to be. So we, again, this education, because these all aspects, even our education has become commercial. It is the more attention is given to there where we can make money, where we can get jobs, but we are not giving that education where we become the better human beings.
And so we've got to leave it there, I'm afraid. We're actually at the end. So,
thank you very much.
Incredibly, we've come to the end, but I've taken us a lot to study in the conversation there about us really reaching into ourselves, identifying role models who can help us, thinking about the end of our lives and looking back, and striving to really do good during our lives and whatever facet we work in. If Mansour, if people wanted to connect with you, is the best way to do that through the diplomatbusinessclub.com, or is there?
Yes, diplomatbusinessclub.com. Yes.
Excellent. So go and check that out, the diplomatbusinessclub.com. And once again, a huge thank you, Mansour. I'm sorry that we've run out of time today. On next week's show, we're going to be
a noble job, and we will continue, and with one step, all the long journey starts. And maybe this little conversation, it might pave a way for a better society.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much. And on next week's show, I'm away, but I'm going to play a show that was very popular last year. It was Mark Beaumont, who took 40 days off the round the world cycling world record, and he's talking about his methods of leadership next week. So do join and listen to that show if you've not listened to it before. In the meantime, just a huge thank you to Mansour, and any questions, comments, feel free to send them to me at chris@chriscooper.co.uk, and I can always forward any messages to Mansour as well that you send through. So once again, huge thank you Mansour, and I wish you all well.
We thank you for listening to the Chris Cooper Business Elevation Show. Please join your host, Chris Cooper, again next Friday at 8 a.m. US Pacific Time on the Voice America Business Channel. Be more. Achieve more.